Hi, I'm Simon Hill and you're watching Purebred Reds Adelaide United Fan TV.
Hi, I'm Daniel Mullen, former Adelaide United player and Asian Champions League winner with Western Sydney Wanderers. When it comes to any of my soccer needs, I do my shopping here at Soccer Locker. An Australian-owned and operated business, the store is located at Shop 5 of 181 to 183 Grange Road, Findon. Founded in 2017, Soccer Locker was introduced into the market to fulfil all the soccer-related needs of Australians, providing a huge range of quality clothing and equipment ranging from soccer balls, team kits, goalkeeper gear, accessories and much more. Recently arrived stock also includes stunning retro kits from some of our favourite past eras as fans of the world game. Soccer Locker is a specialist in premier range boots, Adidas and Puma, goalkeeper gear and licensed merchandise. Visit us online at www.soccerlocker.com.au with free delivery Australia-wide. So get shopping now at our Findon store, open from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. from Monday to Friday and open Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
That's good work there by Cristiano. Third goal would make it tricky for them. Oh, they've got a third goal from Cassio! A blistering strike by the Brazilian. His second goal in a red jersey. Beautifully done. They've played some great stuff, Adelaide United here. Cassio in space. Cassio! Spectacular by the Brazilian. Fantastic goal. Fantastic move. Adelaide.
G'day guys and welcome to the Purebred Reds Adelaide United Fan TV. I'm your host Ellis Gelios, coming to you from Soccer Locker today to preview our game against Melbourne City, and like usual I'm joined by a very special guest now. Cassio, before I bring you in officially, you were the first one to come on this platform, first ex-player. Since then we've had just about everyone. It's been a whirlwind 2 years. You've left Adelaide in that time, gone to Melbourne City to work at Melbourne City. And this platform has grown and grown and grown, but we have so much to thank you for. You were the first one, first interview, first ex-player to give us a chance when we were nothing. So it's really special to have you back. Not only given that you're back in Adelaide and you're back affiliated with the club again, but because of the fact that we have you on this show again, it's very special. I'm delighted to welcome you. Welcome back home. How are you?
Thank you, Alice. First, thank you for the invitation again. It's always a pleasure, mate, to talk to you. So yeah, it's been good. It's been great to be back in Adelaide. So after 1.5 years, almost 2 years in Melbourne, working in Melbourne City. So that was a great time. Apart from the lockdown, the rest was really good. Yeah, but you know, Adelaide's Adelaide. We always happy to be back here. So we lived here for 12 years since playing and life after football. Families, so we love Adelaide, and we actually were really happy to be back.
You became an Australian in Adelaide, your kids were born here. Can you just about call Adelaide home?
Of course we do, yeah, we do. We naturalised in 2012 through help. The Adelaide United at the time helped us a lot, which is a great thing as well. Yeah, we try to go back to Brazil as much as we can, but unfortunately now because of the COVID and we haven't been back almost 3 years, it's hard sometimes to get away, stay away from the families, even with, especially with the kids, you know, kids away from grandfathers, grandparents and everything, uncles, cousins, but that's life. So we're waiting for the great opportunity to welcome them back in Adelaide, or we can go over there. But Adelaide became definitely our first home now.
That's amazing. We love to hear that. Now we're at Soccer Locker, our magnificent sponsor, of course. You've got a nice little Brazil cap there. They're available here, not just the Brazil ones, but of course we're only going to give a Brazil one for Cassio of all people to hold up. Staying in the continent. Beautiful Boca Junior kit. Don't know where else in Adelaide you're going to find Boca Junior merchandise, Cassio. What a club this is. Did you ever sort of get close to playing against them in any in any South American inter-club competition?
Boca didn't. A Copa Libertadores or Sul-Americana, which you call Mercosul at my time, which you changed names. But I haven't played Boca yet, but yeah, they're great club. We play other clubs like Independiente, River, Racing, which is top clubs as well.
Still the biggest clubs in Argentina.
Yeah, no, they're great. Argentina is Brazil, and they all Uruguay. They have some great clubs. This one's probably by far, you know, one of the best ones in the continent. So in South America. So it's a great club.
I'm hearing, no guarantees yet, but there may be some Santos stock arriving soon as well. Now, Santos, the biggest club from your motherland, of course. How do the two compare? It's a special rivalry, really. I mean, it's probably the biggest in South America, isn't it?
It is, yes. Santos is mainly because of Pele, but in terms of supporters and everything, I would say Flamengo is probably the biggest one. But Santos is, I would say, might be named because of Pele. So when you talk about Pele and Maradona, with Boca and Santos, this becomes huge. So they'll be huge if they come here. It'll be great. So I'll be more than happy to purchase one.
Former Flamengo player, of course, as well. How can we forget? Yeah. Amazing stuff that you got to represent them.
That was great. Great times. Played, yeah.
Now we've got some Adelaide United stock finally in here as well, which is great. So make sure you get in, pay the guys here a visit. Got some nice little sort of boomer jackets here, bomber jackets rather. Get in, guys. The stock is hot. We're going to preview the game against Melbourne City, Cassio. Club you've just been working for, and obviously Adelaide United, the club you represented with so many glorious years to hold dear. Now it's a 6:35 kickoff tomorrow night, guys. Melbourne City, their continued excellent run of form meant that they edged in-form Brisbane Roar in a highly entertaining game last weekend. That was their third win in a row. And also the third time in a row that they scored at least 3 goals, so they are absolutely prolific at the moment. They're also unbeaten in 7 games, and they've won 11 of their last 14, which leaves Adelaide United with a daunting task ahead of them in this game. Now, Adelaide United, we failed to win any of our last 4, and while only one of these matches has ended in defeat, the golfing class should very much be evident in what we've seen lately. Now, you were at the game against Wellington, Cassio. Yeah, I had a bit of a reunion dinner at Enzo's. Firstly, tell us how that went. You are in a round table with all the legends. That's a dream for older supporters, obviously. So many memories, so many goals, so many fantastic moments.
That was great. That was actually, I haven't been in touch with them. Some of them for quite a bit. Some of them I've been in touch.
So who joined you?
Well, there were a lot of people there, so I remember, it was Marcos Flores, Karuska, Ian Five, Daniel Mullen, Matthew Campy, Richie Allegage, some of the girls, MJ, Rachel, who was really good, Lucas Pantelis, which hosted, John Asali, I can't recall if I forgot one, but
that's all right. That's some famous alumni.
That's what I can recall. That was a great time. We had a good dinner. Then we went to watch the game together. That was really good.
Now, what wasn't good was our performance. 0-0, firing another blank, second one in a row at home. Why are we struggling so much to at least threaten on goal? It seems very unlike us this season. We obviously had that patch where we were just in incredible form and really punching above our weight. But the last 2 weeks at home, we've not looked like ourselves at all. Has it been a case of us being worked out, do you think? Have clubs worked out that we have no plan B when they park the bus, or is there just confidence lacking? Why hasn't it been working very well for us?
Well, from what I've been watching the last few games, Adelaide there are something special within the group in terms of getting something out of the hat sometimes. Special players, got especially in the middle third, front third. But I think the last game when I watched, I think it was more the opportunities created, couldn't score. So they had enough opportunities to win the game, which is great. So that's what you want to get when you train your team, when you go into the game, create chances, which is the last part of the pitch to score goals. And I think they did that. They've been doing that. But unfortunately the chances you gotta put the back of the net to win the game. So unfortunately it didn't work the last the last game. But then in the other side, you play a good team like Wellington, which is a good side. So I don't think people give much value to Wellington because they always been that up and down every year. But I guess I rate them highly, especially with the quality players they have, like the Mexican player Davila and some other players. So that was a difficult task, and they're all fighting for spots in top 6. There was a difficult game for Adelaide, I would say. But unfortunately, football you have to score. So if you don't score, then you can't win games.
For sure. Now the club put out a retro video of that 6-1 win, I think it was, back in 2008-09 when you scored those 2 rockets. Do you remember that?
I do remember, yeah. I do remember to the left foot, yeah, cross shots. Yeah, it was good.
Such good memories.
Yeah, that was good. That was
just some of the catalogue of memories you left us with. The other one that springs to mind, that Newcastle half volley, absolutely scrumptious. My view was directly behind you in the south end. When that went in, I was just like, no way.
That was good. Old times. I'm too old now. But that was good. There's some good memories.
Great stuff. Now, getting back to the preview. So, Carl Veart, he's got a bit of a headache on his plate at the moment because a lot of fans are starting to get a bit restless with Tomi Juric. Now, it's funny because he's actually our top scorer, but we've just not looked great in the time that he's since come back into the team. When Cassio was leading the line, we looked a lot more lively. So a problem has arisen for Veart now because he's already publicly backed Juric to the hilt. Came out when we first signed him and said he's one of the best finishers he's ever seen, and this is Carl Veart, who played in one of the greatest ever Adelaide City teams, saying that this is the best finisher he's seen. So he's got to back his man Tomi Juric, the big name signing that we brought in this year. Is this going to become a bit of an issue if we continue to play poorly? Because Cassio, he's fit, he's back in the side. If you're bringing him on for 10 minutes when we're looking so much more lively with him on, as opposed to Juric for 80 minutes, it's going to become an issue going forward. So, do you think there's a bit of a contentious sort of talking point there with Carl Veart and his management going forward?
Well, there are a few things in there. I believe the coach, when he makes this kind of decisions, even when supporters and media and these sort of things go against it, he might have an issue for it. So the day by day with the player and the coach, trainings and hotels and lunch, dinners and all those stuffs. So the coach knows each player very well because he's with the player for quite a bit, sometimes more than their own families. So there is a reason for Tomi to be playing, not only because he's a good striker and a top goal scorer, but something the coach believes in. And when the coach believes in, which is for me is a great thing because he always backed the player up, like you mentioned, and the player feels as well that he's got that backup from the coach. And I have to deliver because in the other side there are a lot of players knocking on the door, like Yangi and some other boys. They want the opportunities, so he needs to perform. And my view, I played with Tomi when he got here, 2013, I think. So we played a bit. I think Carl's right. He was already when he was young.
Yeah.
He was probably one of the best finishers back then. Already, he was very young. I think he was like 20 years old, 19, 20 years old. So he scored some great goals just in that time. And I think Carl hit him in the head with that. But sometimes, like I said about Wellington games, sometimes the ball doesn't get in. And it's natural the supporters, demand, the media demand, which is a natural thing. I just believe that the main thing is that the coach believes in the group of players he's got and the type of player he needs to do that sort of job in the system he plays. And the younger ones, they'll get the opportunities. It's just a matter of time. And once they get these opportunities, they take it. Like the boys, I have to admit, the younger ones doing really well, and which is something, especially in Adelaide, around the vibe around is really good about young players because Carl's not scared to throw them. With this situation with Tomi and other players, it's just purely coach's opinion and actually believes on that. But I have to agree with Carl 100%. Tomi is a very good finisher. He just when one goes on, and then eventually things happen for striker. Striker leaves out of goal, so he needs to get 1, 2, and then eventually things will go back into the normality for him.
There you go, folks. Sorry, Cassini. Might have to wait a few more weeks. Now, I want to talk about Josh Cavallo. Now, he's playing left back at the moment. Obviously, you're a legend, our greatest ever left back. So talk to us. How have you viewed his performances at left back? Could he potentially play there long term? Because we're stocked with central midfielders, as you know. And how much did you have to do with him at Melbourne City? Because he was at Melbourne City, of course, back in the day too.
Yeah, when I got there, end of 2019, he's already left. So I think he's at West United.
Okay.
So I think, as far as I remember, he was at City, and then he went to West United, and then he ended up in Adelaide. I think this kid been great. He's been an excellent pick. So whoever's done that, they've done a great job. This couchy and everything. He can play in several positions, and you can see the kid's got something. You know, playing as a midfielder, as a number 8, number 10, left back has been great. He's one of the best performers this year for me in the squad, and being such a young player as well, and coming in a different city, you know, different environment. He found his feet really quick, very well, and playing his best. I believe, and especially never, I don't know, but I believe he never played in that position before, and he's performing at a professional level very well. You can't tell he never played there. So I actually really like him, and I think he's doing a great job.
There you go, from Cassio to Cavallo. Now, are City the odds-on favourite for this game? What have you made of them this season? They look like they're in a passage of form that they've never been in historically. They always, whenever they've showed promise, they've seemed to buckle under pressure a little bit. Doesn't seem like that's on the cards at all this season. So tell us what it's like in terms of what it was like when you were there, and whether it was brewing towards this. Obviously you were there just very recently, but how much contact have you had with Patrick Kisnorbo? How much was this always going to go this way for them this season, do you think? And how do you rate them in terms of their A-League squad this season?
Well, as you can tell, like I think you mentioned pretty clear, they the form team in the competition for the last month or so. Physically very strong, and they have a clear structure playing, which is drives through and from Manchester City all the way down the City group, which I was there. So they have the clear structure, and they follow through, and then they're pretty solid with it. And I think they pick the right players for their positions. When you have players like Jay McLaren, you know, it's a big chance of percentage to win game, because this kid, he's got 3 chances, you score 2 at least, you know. So it's very rare to find that nowadays in the world. So, and we got all the other areas as well, like that. You got plays, very good plays in every position there. So I guess I see them now as when I was playing for United back in 2010-11, which we had like a run of 11, 12 games where I think we unbeaten, something like that.
Yes.
You probably recall that. 13 games, so winning every game. Sometimes you feel unbeatable, you know, because you win every game by 6, by 4, by 3, and eventually get a draw here, but then you go back up again. So I sort of looking at that scenario now as we were back in 10 years ago. And you actually, I look at them and go, these guys are unbeatable, which is great to watch. Like, but you never know. But you got Adelaide. Adelaide got something special in terms of individuality, players. So they got some individuals which can make a difference, like Craig Goodwin, Ben Halloran, and all those players that Stefan Mork. They can get something out of the hat and win games, which is City's more about the team, structure. So there is no one individual apart from Jamie, which is purely score goals. So I guess it would be a good game. I'll be honest with you, a good game to watch.
I want to ask you about McLaren. There was a moment earlier on in the season when, I can't remember who it was, one of City's wide players failed to play it to McLaren first time, and he absolutely went off at him. It was on camera, he gave him an absolute bake, and then that player followed through with the instructions the following time, and they scored from it. So tell us, is McLaren really a leader off the pitch?
Well, my role there was more with Academy, but of course sometimes we had a touch with the seniors and have a look at the trainings, which is good for us to learn as well, especially for myself, which I was there. I learned a lot, and he was actually he's a very humble kid, very good player, always respectful with everyone, and on the pitch I see him helping the younger ones, so which is a good thing from an older and experienced player. I don't think he's that old, but he's got a bit of experience. 27, so here you go, he's a great age, so he's got a good experience to help the younger ones and be a model, and I believe he's really good. I think in that scenario, as you mentioned about the game, they scored, he went off. I think the players believe he will score, and then they will create the chances for him to score. If maybe one or two they miss out, which is a clear one, it can happen, which is normal. But eventually they'll create chances for him because they know he will score. He always put himself in great positions. So he's different. I have to admit, he's different in the box. It's very rare to find a player with his quality, with the finishing quality in Australia. So.
Did Bernardo ever come home after a training session and talk about training with McLaren?
A lot. He'd come back home. When you're there, he's training with A-League. Coming back home, saying the session's great, and then he's saying about Jamie, it's unbelievable how much he can finish, how his finishing accuracy in trainings are great. So this is great for him, young kids, like him, like the other kids, to look at these sort of players and see what it takes to get into that level. So, which is role models like that. I'm saying on the pitch, but he seems a great guy off the pitch as well, and it's the ones to follow.
There you go. Very interesting. We're going to move on. So tell us about Patrick Kisnorbo, the head coach there, his assistant last season. I think he was at one stage in charge of the W League team too. Obviously, he's done his kind of badges. Is he the real deal, do you think? Can he go on and, we might be getting ahead of ourselves, but let's say City win it this year. Can he go on and have a successful coaching career in Europe, do you think?
It's hard to tell because he's just young. He's very young, just starting. I think he's been around, assisting A-League and coach W League, I guess. Again, I wasn't much involved with A-League. I can't tell the day-by-day thing, and I don't know him as much.
Yep.
But we had a few meetings through the club and stuff when I was there, which is always helpful with me, and try to help through meetings and trainings and stuff, which is good. So we learn from each other. But I think he's doing. You can't lie. He's doing great. He's doing a good job. The team is doing very good. So surely the coach was some percentage in there. Even though I believe the players are always a big percentage of every success team. So people can tell the opposite, but I'm never gonna get into that because the players are the ones that play the game. So, but the coach percentage is in there. I believe he's doing a great job, and he could be very successful in the future. About overseas is a different story because we see coaches like Tony Popovic, Muscat going and coming back, which is overseas, especially Europe, South America. It is a ruthless world. So you don't have 3-4 chances. You have to win every game. So eventually you lose one or two, you're already in doubt to get kicked out and get sacked. So in Australia, it's a lot better. You can breathe a bit more. So you can survive a season or two, even you're doing not too good. So again, overseas is completely different story. You can't tell. But the way he's going, I think he's got all the ingredients to follow all those coaches that went and done well.
I think you're right, and I'm going to now ask for a prediction. Who wins?
It's a tough one. I believe Adelaide can win. I believe Adelaide can win because Adelaide needs to win, and he's been in the recent form, hasn't been in that winning form, which is something needed. Players sometimes get that. City, on the other hand, City has been winning, and sometimes you can be relaxed in that scenario. So I will throw here that Adelaide will win this one.
Do you think there's a possibility that because Melbourne City is such an attacking side, that's going to open up a lot of space for us to win this game on the counter-attack, because that has been where we've had a lot of success in the last 2 months. So do you think because Wellington and Western United, for different reasons, have played very defensively at Cooper Stadium, that the tide might turn for Adelaide, because we're going to Melbourne City, the onus is on them to attack, obviously, and that they're not a team that's really built to do much off the ball. So
yeah, well, this is why, because Adelaide, you probably recall as well, better than me, every time Adelaide plays City, they most of the time they're successful. I think Carl and the coaches, they analyze and they read the game really well against them, what they can do, and then they purely play on how can we win this game. So what areas we can do as a team. So I believe that's why Adelaide will get advantage, and being honest, I think they got a chance to win, and I'll put the result there 1-0.
Good. We like to hear that. Now I'm going to ask you about your time working with Melbourne City. You've obviously just come back. When Bernardo was when the announcement was made for Bernardo, who signed with Adelaide United from Melbourne City, you then made inroads to return here. Tell us what your time away was like working at Melbourne City. Obviously, probably the biggest club infrastructure-wise in the country, a part of the CFG group. You were in touch with a lot of key people, witnessing firsthand the resources there and what you had to work with, the facilities. So talk to us about what the role was like at Melbourne City.
Yeah, no, that was great. Well, the access I had, the contents access I had within the group, City Group, and Melbourne City, Manchester City, New York City, that was great. Something unique, I have to say. So about trainings, methodologies, and all those stuffs. That most of stuff come from actually Guardiola. So we've had access to all those stuffs. And you're right, you're saying the training facilities are unique as well compared to Australian model. So, but doesn't mean that the thing is people get two thoughts about it, which is the training facility and for example being a champion and creating players are two different things. So the fact that you have that all the scenario, you have to do everything well to be successful. So, which is they're a great club, but they're not the perfect club like everyone in the world. But they got everything to be a great club. Yeah, I had a great time there. So Michael Petrillo, which I worked here, was the one that took Bernardo there, gave me opportunity to work. Initially, my first season, I worked as an assistant coach, so an academy assistant coach, and then the second year, which is my second season, they offered me, which is a great position, of a specific coach, so specialized through the whole academy, which is something unique, which is Manchester City has, I think New York City had, and they wanted someone from Melbourne City to do it, and they offered me that position, which was a full-time position. So I actually I felt privileged to get that, and actually I jumped in my last 8 months on that. And that was really good. I could have access even more things about it, create a lot of stuff and planning. There were a lot of work put in there, and I could help even some transitional scholarship players to A-League players into specific what Patrick Kisnorbo and the NPL coach wanted in terms of work with these players. That was something very good for me that I've learned a lot. Yeah, so I believe this is a unique experience. So I had to come back to Adelaide because of Bernardo's situation, and he's being a minor. We need to give him support, and also the family as well. So to come back and restart again. So the club understood. So spoke to them. They completely understood the situation, and then we're really happy coming back here.
And here you now are. Well, it's great to hear that you had a good time over there. I'm sure you've grown a lot off the field in what you've been able to experience at Melbourne City. But you are now back, and so is Bernardo. What an exciting signing this was for the club. Another father-son situation. We haven't had many of them. Now, Bernardo scored a cracking goal for the youth team against Blue Eagles. And if I'm not mistaken, it might be the first time ever that we've had in a youth team game two sons of legends scoring goals. Alagich's son scored and Bernardo scored, which is pretty special. And it was great to see. So make sure you get out and watch our youth team at the moment, because playing some good stuff, starting to win now, and we've got some legendary sons in the team of sons of legends of the club. Now I want to ask you, how's it been for Bernardo settling in? Obviously straight into it, not much respite at all, but how's he finding it?
Oh, it's very easy, because when that opportunity came to come back here and be part of the A-League squad and play in PL games until Carl and Ross and the coaches think, Eugene thinks he's ready to join the A-League squad. I think that was unique. That was a no-brainer. Again, go back a little to City. City was great for him as well in terms of developing, but in terms of playing opportunities, I think Adelaide is something special, not only for Bernardo but for all those young players. So the way that Bruce and the coaches and the club are running in this scenario, I think that's probably the place to be for those young boys. I guess we probably Central Coast, I would say. They're the both clubs that providing this pathway for these kids, which is apart from wanting to win, but they don't forget the fact they giving these kids an opportunity is probably the way they're leading to other links and opportunities for them, national teams and other connections. So I think they're doing great, and that was a no-brainer coming back here. Very easy to settle. His friends went back to the same school, Nazareth Catholic College, which I'll go back there and work there, which I worked there for 4.5 years as running the soccer program, football program. So easy for our family as well. Adelaide is a great place because it's not like Melbourne in terms of big city.
Very livable.
Very livable. So very easy to do. Melbourne is a great city as well. We love living there, but it's everything too far off for us. So here we know, and the wife is back, so everyone's back. So easy for Bernardo. I think he's actually over the moon the fact that he could play. And for the club, he supported since he's a little kid because I played there as well.
Of course. So. Well, it's a small community here as well, so it's great that you're back and we get to rub shoulders with you once again, an absolute legend of the club. Got to talk about Academia. You're back now running the show again. Obviously, you never really left in that regard, but you're now back at least coaching the sessions again. So tell us how it's going, where you're based, and how people can get involved if they want to.
Yeah, well, a lot of people know my academy runs a Grange Recreation Reserve. I've been there since 2015. I've been running for almost 7 years, and the fact I was out in Melbourne, Melbourne City, I had to leave my academy with my coaches, which is they're great coaches. They run the show. They've done a great job as well. Unfortunately, a lot of people want us there. Myself to coach, which I'm hands-on coach. I love coaching, and especially kids. And I was always there, but unfortunately I couldn't come. I tried to come as much, but the lockdown unfortunately didn't let it happen often. So now that the fact I'm back, we went back into the good times and getting the kids back. Hopefully soon get into tournaments, which we have a tournament coming in term 4 in the off season. So eventually getting back into tournaments in Sydney, Queensland, Melbourne, which we've done already, experienced that. And some of them very successful. And overseas, unfortunately, we can't do it now, but waiting for the right time to do, and probably go back to Spain again for a great tournament. So just waiting for the right time when the COVID settles and everything, and then we hopefully soon, and then we can get these opportunities for the kids. But yeah, if you're interested and if you're a good player, want to work, want to develop, you can contact us on Academy.
You're on socials.
Yeah, social media. So a lot of people know us. So then we can actually help if a player interested to develop. That's what we're looking for.
Absolutely. We'll put all the links in the video. Cassio, thank you so much for joining us. Are you doing anything special to settle in and watch the game tomorrow night? Any plans?
No, not really. Just relax with the family.
Bit of a South American steak and wine and sit down.
Might have a beer. Got to work in the afternoon. So we've got Academy going. Then when I come back home, probably a few beers, maybe a steak. Yeah, that might be an option.
Beautiful stuff. Well, we hope you enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Cassio, thank you so much for
Thank you very
coming
much.
in, mate. It's great that you're back in Adelaide, an absolute legend of the game, and I've got to say, even greater that we're seeing you in the stands at Cooper Stadium again. So good that that connection is back there, not just through Bernardo, but because of the fact that you are a great of this football club, one of the greatest. So it's great to have you back. Thanks for coming in. Great to speak to you, and all the best with everything going forward.
Thank you, Radish. Thank you very much, mate. Pleasure, mate. Talk to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Cassio, and thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you come in and visit Costa and Jamie here at Soccer Locker. The great guys, they'll look after you. Unique offerings here. They are the only soccer-specific store left in the state. So come in, give Soccer Locker a visit. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Enjoy the game tomorrow. We'll see you next time. Cheers.